Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Let's learn QA. Today, I will be having a mock interview with Avinash Gorade. Avinash is connected with me through YouTube, and he has requested me for a mock interview. He is an experienced QA professional, having 6 years of experience. He is working in a Pune-based company right now and looking to explore new opportunities and trying hard for his preparation and wanted to connect with me for the mock interview. So over to you, Avinash. I would start with your brief introduction, please.
Okay, hello Deepak sir. Thank you for this opportunity. My full name is Avinash Gorade. I am currently living in Pune with my family. I have total 6 years of experience and which include 4.1 years in the automation and 2 years in the manual. So my technologies include Selenium with Java, mainly for the automation scripting. And along with that, I have a good experience of Postman, REST Assure for API testing, also Jira for project and ticket management. And apart from that, I also have good experience of functional regression testing and accessibility testing as well. And since my first organization, we are following agile methodology. So that's about myself brief. Thank you.
Okay. So I will directly jump to the automation part, Avinash. So are we good? Can I start here?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. So I would like to know you have worked on any framework, Avinash?
Yes, we are following BDD Cucumber hybrid framework, which include
Okay.
TestNG, and that's
Right.
yeah.
I think it must be having the page object model design
Yes,
pattern, right?
yes, yes.
So can you tell me what are the advantages of using page object model framework?
Sure, sir. So the page object module that is we call in short POM. So it is basically whatever the pages in our application have that we are like whatever the web elements that page have that we are distributing in different web pages. Let's say if your application have 10 pages, then that 10 pages will be our POM classes. So in let's say on the login page there will be login page web elements on the POM page, and if the home page, then home page will be the separate form page where all the locators related to the home page will be available. So in that way, it will be arranged in the framework so that it will be readable. And if you want to change any single locator, then that will be implemented or like applied to whole framework. So easy, it will make maintenance and readability more sufficient, I can say.
Okay, right. So like you have described that we in the page object model we create pages for the different pages on the application. So
Yes.
suppose you have 100 pages in your application, right?
Mhm.
So what do you think you will be creating 100 pages in that case?
Mostly, I will try to if the page elements are less, then I can try to accommodate two form classes in the single to make it more optimized so that it can be less optimized, like framework structure will be less. But mostly, if the codes web elements or the code structure is big for particular page, then I will make that page separate. But if the data or code is less, then I will try to accommodate into one single form class instead of making two. So that will make my code more optimized for the more pages.
Okay. Have you there is one more concept if you are aware of that. Along with page object model, we
Mhm.
also sometimes use component object model.
Yeah, might be, but actually in my framework we are using POM only, so I'm not
Okay,
that much aware about that. But I will try to learn about that much.
okay, okay. Right. Actually, these two questions were connected with each other. That 100 pages are there. Then you
Mhm.
can use some component object model as well in that case. So
Okay.
no worries. So when you use a page object model framework, right? So
Mhm.
you must be following some Java OOPS concepts as well, right?
Correct.
So can you tell me where you have used inheritance in your framework?
Definitely, sir. So in my framework, we have one base class where we have all the codes related to the initialization of browser or anything regarding tear down or taking screenshot. This kind of the methods which are mostly used that we have written in one base class, and that same base class we are extended to the other classes like utility or test classes. So in that way, we have used the inheritance principle here, like from one class principles, we are extending to the other class with the help of extend keywords or wherever needed.
Okay. Have you also used encapsulation in your framework?
Yes, so we also use encapsulation. So we have page factory in our framework. So what we are doing
Mhm.
here, so we are defining variables private so that scope limited. If you want to limit the scope of particular variable or modifier, then we can define it with the help of private. So that is the encapsulation concept we are using mostly in our framework.
Okay. Uh, can I know how do you manage test data in your framework?
Yeah, so we are following different strategies based on the amount of data. So let's say we have to just test combinations of usernames and password. Then we are directly using our feature file, where we are having a scenario and scenario outline. So in the scenario outline with examples, we are writing combinations of username and password so that it can be easily accessible. Apart from that, we are also using JSON. So we have one JSON file in our framework where if we
Mhm.
have some data, then we are writing it into that and we are making that data accessible to the framework. And let's say if our testing is that much like more data, we have to test a lot of data. So if the data is priority, then we are also using Excel if you want. So we are like integrating our one Excel to our framework with the help of Apache POI jar. So that jar file we are configuring our framework. So we are giving the path of that Excel sheet and we are taking the data from Excel, whatever the data we need. And if you want to change, then we can directly change data in the Excel instead of going to the framework. So that this approach mostly we are using.
Okay. When you are working on automation scripts and in framework, so it is very likely you must be encountering some exceptions which is related to the Selenium only. So can
Mhm.
you tell me what are the different exceptions are there which we encounter in the Selenium automation scripts?
Definitely, sir. Like there is a session not found exception. Many times what happens, we close the browsers like by using driver.quit or driver.close. Then we started some script. So that time what happens, like the driver session already stop and later on we are trying to execute the script. So that time what happens, these kind of exceptions come up like session not created. There is also other exception, stale element reference exception. What happens sometimes, like we are trying to automate a web element which is not there. The DOM part, like we are like automating a X element, and at the time of automation, that element went up from there. That DOM, like that is detached from that DOM actually. If I want to give an example of, like, let's say there is some offer going on. Let's say we have one conference, agile conference. So we had one banner of agile conference in our solution. So but that conference already done in the May. So now that banner is went up there. So we are trying to automate that banner. So that element already like came out of the DOM. So that time we come up still we can come up with the stale element reference exception. We also have different exceptions as well, like browser mismatch related exception. I'm not recalling name, but yeah, there are other exceptions as well from particularly from Selenium.
So if you will encounter stale element reference exception,
Mhm.
how will you handle it?
So firstly, let's say if I am going, I am like supposing that at a particular element I am getting, I can get a stale element reference exception. Then I can wrap up that particular code into the retry mechanism. Like I can use retry mechanism, and I can possibly put that code into the try catch block so that if I can get that kind of exception, then that code might be risky. So I can put that into the try block, and I can handle in the catch block whatever the exceptions. Mostly here the stale element exception. Another approach I can use explicit wait there. So with the help of
Mhm.
explicit wait, I can use there is one refresh method. So I can use explicit dot refresh. So that method like wait until wait until that page get refreshed. So we can use refresh mechanism there, and then we can handle that element. So these approaches we can use there mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will give you one scenario. You will tell me how you will handle that because you are working on a framework. In your framework, you have a test suite of, let us say, 100 test cases, right?
Hmm.
And when you have executed your test suite, out of 100, 90 tests got passed and 10 tests got failed, correct?
Mhm.
So now we want to run only the failed test cases only this time.
Okay.
So how will you handle that?
So as I starting, I told that we are also using TestNG, which is the part of our framework. So TestNG have one features of like it create one XML file. So once we hit the framework for running, and let's say we are getting 10 test cases fail and 90 pass, then automatically one fail folder is like a full fail test cases folder is going to be created in our framework, and in that there will be a fail test cases XML file will be going to be created.
Hmm.
So instead of running the past or all the test cases, we can directly hit that fail test case phase so that it can only run that, and we can retry that test cases so that we can check whether it is any flaky test or it is a actual bug.
Okay. So do you think it is the only option that we use, or do we have any other option as well apart from running the failed XML?
Hmm.
Yes, that is right. You are right that there is a failed XML created after the execution. Is there any other way? Because
Hmm.
according to me, uh, failed XML you will have to run manually. Do you agree
Hmm.
with me?
Yeah, I agree. So yes, there are other way as well. So we have like integrated our framework with Junkin and CI/CD. So we
Hmm.
can directly in our Junkin also we get the report. So in the report there are we are getting the category of past test cases, failed test cases. So in our Jenkins also we configure in that way so that if the test cases got fail, it is going to be produced there like the whatever the test cases are going to fail. That is the extent report are going to be give us link. So we have like say created one job which is going to like test that particular failed test cases only. So we can directly from our command as well run only failed test cases. So that is also one way we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you can add one stage if you are using Jenkins pipeline to execute your test suite. Then you can add one more stage, but that stage will be executed based on a condition,
Yes.
right? So this will be the approach. You will first in the first stage you will be executing your complete test suite, and then
Yes.
you will be having one condition, which is a if condition. If failed XML exists, only then it will be executed.
Correct.
So that is one way. Okay,
Yeah.
right. So now let us one more question. That is a scenario question maybe. I will try to see how will you handle a situation based thing over here. You have a you have your automation test suite with you, right?
Yes.
You have your regression suite available with you,
Mm-hmm.
and your regression suite will take at least 2 hours to run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the automation test suite. That your regression test suite, because it has n number of test cases in the regression test suite, it will take approximately 2 hours or anytime you can assume. But your manager, the product owner, is asking you that he wants the report of the regression shoot within half an hour.
Hmm.
On an average, on it takes 2 hours, but product owner is asking for the report in two half an hour only. So can you tell me how will you approach this situation?
Definitely, sir. Let's say, like we have 200 test cases. Have you given me the number of test cases or what?
No, it is not about the number of test cases.
Yeah,
I
two
am.
hours we are
It is
saying.
about that it takes
Yeah.
2 hours.
Okay, got it, got it. So let's say we have 200 test cases, which is going to be run in the 2 hours. So I will
Yes.
divide, like I will use the thread concept. So we have a thread count concept available, and we also
Mhm.
have parallel execution. So I will do, like I will divide that test cases into the 50-50. Like let's say we have three browsers. One is Chrome, another one is Edge, or another one is Firefox. So I will divide it into the three parts. Let's say there are, I will give for simplicity, I will take 70 test cases in one browser, and I will make
Mhm.
sure that thread count will will be as per that standard, and I will make sure that my framework will be also have thread local, so which will thread local class, which will ensure at the time of parallel execution there should not be any issue of using two resource concurrently, and there will be some failures. So I will make sure that that thread local class will be also going to be implemented. So in that way, I will do a parallel execution so that at a time, the instead of running one test case on by side, I can use like 70 test cases will be going to run together, and it is going to be executed into the one third time, which time is going to be taken for the let's say 2 hours. It is going to be taken in the half hours, mostly half hours or 40 minutes, and it is going to be also cover cross browser testing, and also
Mhm.
going to increase the performance and reduce decrease the time as well. So this approach I will follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So okay. So I will be asking some maybe question related to Java
Mhm.
or maybe some Selenium. One more thing I want to know. Do you know about the shadow DOM element?
Shadow DOM element.
Uh,
I
and how will you handle the shadow DOM element in Selenium script?
Shadow DOM element. I'm not sure about this. I'm not recalling, but I think it is happens sometimes. Like it is like the element due to the shadow element, the actual element is not get visible. Due to that, our script gets fail. So this kind of scenario happens due to the shadow elements. I'm not sure I'm right or wrong here,
Okay.
but for handling this kind of thing, we have to use explicit wait mostly, and we have to use until like we have there are different methods available in the explicit wait, like wait until that element disappear or wait until that element visible. So that method we can use to get what is expected element. So let me
No,
correct
it is
if I'm
actually
wrong.
no, no. It is not. It is not the concept you are talking. It is a different concept altogether.
Okay.
Shadow DOM elements resides within the page. It
Hmm.
is like it has its own DOM. It is another DOM in the main DOM, right?
Hmm.
And that shadow DOM get hosted by one of the element within the original DOM.
So you mean is it a iframe concept?
Similar to if at the higher level you can understand in that way, yes. It is like in iframe you have one page inside another HTML page.
Yeah, there are
So
two
in the
domes.
same way, shadow DOM is like a DOM inside our original DOM. So the Selenium script cannot directly pierce into the DOM element, right? The DOM,
Hmm.
the shadow DOM element will always be hosted by one of the element in our DOM.
Correct.
So the approach will be first you will identify what is the host element within our DOM, right? That
Okay.
you can find normally. And once you
Hmm.
identify the sorry, the root uh, shadow host, then you will in the next level you go to the shadow element inside that. So that is the idea. Only this
Okay,
concept is there.
okay,
Okay.
okay. I will study on that.
Yes, you should definitely. It is also one of the like frequently asked things. You should definitely be ready for such questions, right? And
Yes.
in Java, can you tell me what is singleton class?
Yes, so singleton class is used basically when we have to create only one instance at the time of creation or at the time of execution. So that is basically a singleton class. Only at the time of execution, the single instance created instead of multiple instances. So that is singleton class.
Hmm. Okay. Uh, in exception handling, are you aware of the exception handling in Java?
Yes, yes.
So can you tell me what is the difference between throw and throws keyword in exception handling?
Yes, so actually to explain it practically and with example later on. So throws is like a possible warning that some exception is might be going to throw, and throw is actual exception. So that is the core difference between both. So if I want to give an example, so let's say we are handling some file input stream file, then that time at the when we write that syntax of file input stream, let's say we are creating object of file input stream, so there compiler it will itself suggest like there is some exception is going to become. So if we click on that exceptions or manually write, then it will give some input output IO exception, I mean to say. So that exception is going to be line up with the method. So after method, there will be a keyword come throws, and then later will be that exception is going to be joined with that method. So that is nothing but throws concept, where the possible exception is going to be handled if it is going to be it is coming. And throw is the actual exception. Let's say there is a one syntax that at the time of initialization, let's say if browser equal to Chrome and browser is equal to Edge, uh, if you are writing a code that browser equal to Chrome and browser equal to Edge, then after we will write throw. If it is not equal to, I mean to say, if browser is not equal to
Mhm.
Chrome or browser is not equal to Edge, then throw. Uh, like I can
Illegal
give
browser.
yeah, illegal browser or invalid browser exception we can write in the parentheses explicitly. Then if the browser is not that true, then it is going to throw actual exception that illegal browser or invalid browser. So in that way we can practically use throw. So that is the core difference between throw and throws.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you write a Java program? Can I tell you, ask you to one
Yes,
Java
yes,
program?
yes. Let me try.
So I will ask you to write a program that is
Yes.
related to the array, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the program is that you have one array, correct?
Okay.
Let us it is a array of integer type which is having some number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
It is an int array, anything you can say, yes, which is having values 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5.
Okay.
Now 4 and 5, yes, chalo, I think it is also okay.
Okay.
So this is the thing. Now
Okay.
your output will be that you have to produce the multiplication of this array except the array element itself. For example, uh, like you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you will multiply all the elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the multiplication you will not include 1. So that is one multiplication, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you
Uh,
1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, you will get some result.
okay.
And then in the next you will be again doing the multiplication of complete array, but not the current element.
Okay, so you means like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2,
So
3.
when you will be multiplying first time, it will be 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay, 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 okay. So
In the
first
next
time it
time,
will be okay,
first time it will skip the 1,
okay,
and second time it will multiply 1, 1, 3, 4, and 5.
okay. In that way.
It will skip the 2.
Mm-hmm.
In the next time it will do 1, 2, 4, and 5. Are you getting the pattern?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm
So it
getting the
is it is
pattern.
a multiplication of all the elements except the self current element.
Mm-hmm. In that way, right?
Yes, so in the last it will be 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm. In that
It
way.
will multiply all
Got
elements except the current element.
got it, got it. Let me try.
Just to give you a small hint over here, you
Mm-hmm.
will need to use two loops.
Okay.
So according to me, the number which you have taken, you can carry on. I will just uh, tell you what is the expected output. You guys you carry on.
Mm-hmm. Uh, okay.
Yes, the outer loop will decide the number of iteration. Your outer loop is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Now the inner loop will actually perform the multiplication.
Yes. But I'm not getting logic here exactly like how it is going to be. For loop, we will exclude one first time. So first element is AR 0 here. So if AR uh, look first time, if I equal to 0, then
No worries, Avinash. No worries. No worries.
yes,
I think
actually I
yes.
have to
Let,
study this.
no worries. Yes, yes. We
Yeah,
can discuss it offline. No worries.
yes, yes,
Yes, yes. You can stop sharing the screen.
yes,
Okay. So you also have any idea about the APIs as well?
yes, I do have.
Okay. What is the difference between put and patch method?
So both are the HTTP method, but the core difference is that the put is used when we have to update a resource completely, and patch is used when we have to partially update a resource. So that is the core difference between them. Both are like a sub part of post, we can say, where we have to send some body.
Okay.
So that is the main thing actually.
Right. Uh, like we have different kind of authorization. So can you tell me what is the difference between API key and bearer token?
Okay, so API key is like both are the authentication pop-up, but mostly API key is like a special authentication type which we gets from developer mostly. Actually, bearer token also we gets from developer, but the thing is that authentication key is like we store it into the format of key and value into the headers, and bearer token we can directly import it into the our request or collection directly if you want to fetch. But I'm not recalling exact difference between both. But yeah,
Okay. Can you
both
tell
are the
me something
authentication.
about
Yeah.
OAuth 2? OAuth 2, do you have any idea about what is OAuth 2?
Yeah, auth 2 is also, I think, one of the authentication, but yeah, I am not recalling exactly. Then,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Do you have any idea about Jenkins?
yes.
Okay. Can you tell me why do you use Jenkins?
So the main use of Jenkins is that mostly scheduling part. If you want to schedule, let's say, like every time a developer or engineers can't be on the machine to run a particular framework or particular job. So let's say if you want to schedule a job on the weekend or in the midnight when our working hours are not active, that time we can use Jenkins to run or schedule a job with the help of the five-star approach or five-star pattern which Jenkins have that we call cron actually. So in that
Mhm.
pattern, we can schedule a job. That is the main use. Apart from that, if you want to run our framework directly from terminal, then we can also configure our Jenkins with our terminal and our project. And if you want to run on different environment, then we can configure our jobs like our yeah, junking job. Like we can set different environments. Like if you want to run on the lower environment or in production. Also, if you want to set up different browsers, let's say if you want to run on Chrome, develop only or Edge, then that also we can configure and customize in the Jenkins. So that are the different uses of Jenkins we have.
Uh, I think you have only described about one trigger. So can you tell me what are the different triggers available in Jenkins?
Yes, yes. So one there is a very important that is a, CI/CD related trigger. What is the name of that trigger? I'm not recalling the exact name, but there are different triggers available. That is out of that the name is I have know it, but I'm not recalling it. If you can give
Okay,
some hint.
so the different triggers that are available. The first one is build now, which is for executing your job manually. Correct?
Hmm. Yeah,
One
yeah,
is the
build.
build now.
Yes, yes.
The second one can be that if you remember build periodically, which you are like
Schedule.
explained,
If you want to
the
schedule.
schedule cron
Yeah,
expression, five star cron expression. So first is the build now. You want to run your execute your build manually. Yes, build now. You want it on a specific frequency, that is the build periodically, but it will run only on its specified frequency, right? Then there are two more important triggers, that is poll SCM. Poll
all
SCM
means.
means your code is on your GitHub repository, right? And it will actually check your repository on a defined frequency.
Yes,
Whenever
yes.
any change is there, it will check after some time. Suppose
Correct.
every half an hour it will check your Git repository. If there any change, it will then get trigger. And there is
Correct.
one more, that is also one of the recommended way, that is the webhook.
Yeah,
Web
webhook. Yes,
webhook
yes.
is also
For CI/CD, it is used.
webhook is
I
also
was
one of
also
the,
trying to
yes, yes.
remember that. Yeah, webhook.
So that is as soon as you will make any change in your GitHub repository, it will
Yeah,
trigger automatically there
correct.
and then only.
That is a very much important component for CI/CD, continuous
Yes,
integration,
yes,
continuous delivery. Yeah,
yes.
correct, correct.
So that is also build webhook. You also have to, you
Yes,
have to
correct.
like use in that.
I, yes, I was not able to remember, but I know that concept actually.
Yes, yes. So for your final interviews, you should definitely like have these things on your tips,
Yes,
so that
yes.
you do not forget at that time, right?
Please give me
And
these questions as well at the end if possible. So that, yeah,
yes, yes, I'll share that. I'll share that with you.
yes.
Okay. Now, uh, maybe I can ask one scenario question again from the API testing.
Hmm.
It is a scenario of API chaining, right?
Yes,
In the API chaining, you will pass output of one API to the input of another API, correct?
correct.
So let us say you have hit one API, and that API response is having 50 fields. In the response, you are getting 50 fields, and then you need to send another API, but you have to pick 25 fields from the previous API,
Okay.
which will become input for the next API.
Okay.
Do you have any idea about how it can be done?
Yes, definitely. So, total how much getting we are? 25 we are getting, right?
Suppose you have submitted one API, and
Hmm.
its response is coming, which is having 50 fields
Got it, got it.
in the response, but for the next API we only need 25 fields out of 50.
Got it, got it. So, firstly, let's say we are hitting the post request, and with the post request, we are sending some body and getting some response in the form of body as well. Like, so let's say that body which is having JSON format, it is coming in the JSON format. So, that JSON, let's say you have 50 different types of headers and all the data. So we will use here JSON path, which is very important at the time of parsing a complex JSON. So I am getting one complex JSON having 50 different types of we can say headers or body. So I will store it in a different class, and that body I will like I will use JSON path, which is important at the time of parsing the JSON. And with the help of that JSON path, I will whatever the data I have to take, then I will parse that data, and I will make sure that in the next request, whatever the data I'm getting, that I will use for the assertion as well. Let's say I'm in that one type is like content type JSON. Then I will make sure that I will add at the in the method chaining in the assertion that content type is equal to JSON. And with the help of JSON path, I can how much long is the data or how much long is the JSON, I can parse it, or I can also use serialization. There is serialization of POJO classes. That concepts I can also use there to parse the JSON. So that way I can use if I want.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. There is one more like question. Suppose you are getting a API response, right? And you in your API response, some of the fields are like dynamic, right?
Mhm.
Dynamic values, their values are dynamic. So how can you ensure that you can also validate whether the dynamic data is also correct or not?
Okay,
How can
so
you?
yeah. Yeah, so dynamic also like that data will be, let's say, it is going to be handled in same way where, let's say, in our locators, how we are handling, we are traversing from like with the help of relative locators to that particular node. Same way here we will be also observe what is the permanent part of that, and we will traverse from that parent to that node, and we will use like let's say some special character is there, so in between that character
Correct.
only that data is going to be dynamic, so same path
Yes,
we are
yes.
going to use, and that I will make sure that that part will be dynamic, so that whatever the data is going to be changed, that part is going to be accounted there.
Correct,
There is
correct.
some
So
symbol. Yeah.
yes, yes. So you will use some pattern matching actually, because
Yes,
the
yes.
data response data is dynamic, so you cannot match the exact data. In that case, what your approach should be that you will, yeah, like you have explained, you will only match some patterns or some
Yes, yes.
specific relative data is available or not.
Yes,
So
yes.
yes, that is a correct approach over here. Right. Okay. I think yes. Also, one more thing. Can you also validate your response schema as well in the
A
API testing?
response schema means what we are getting, right?
You got the response from the API, right?
Yes, yes.
Now you need to check whether the schema, whether all the fields are available in the response or not.
Yes, yes, we can check that. So, first, like let's say we have validation, like assertion we have. So that TestNG assertion, which are we are using in our web framework, same we can use in our TestNG REST assure. In our REST assure, we can also use that assertion. So in that assertion, we can mention whatever the response we are getting. So we have log.all. So in that log.all, if you can mention log.all, we are getting the response file in our console as well. So with the help of that, we can write assertion. So whatever the, let's say we are getting data on the, let's say content type is equal to JSON. So that same state we can write in the response as well. Like content should be JSON. Then another one is like there is some header. Then header should be XYZ. So in that way we can also get response chaining as
Okay,
well. Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. I think Avinash, I think I have asked my question that I wanted to ask in this interview. So
Okay, sir.
thank you time for taking your time and giving the mock interview.
Thank you.
So rest of the part I think we can discuss offline. So we can conclude this mock interview over here. And I wish you very best for your upcoming interviews. I hope you will be definitely crack right one of the whatever target you are making for you. You will definitely be able to achieve that.
Thank you,
So
sir.
thank you very much. See you
Thank you.
soon.
Thank you.